I think that the Waitangi Tribunal has played a very important part, but I'm not sure that we are in a space where binding decisions on the Crown and on the government and on legislation, that is Parliament's job, that is the job of the government, and I think that the government is elected to play that part, and they need to listen to iwi. They have those conversations, they have great representation, and that's what we should do.
The Waitangi Tribunal has played a really important role, and I do want to make sure that I make that point. In New Zealand's history, it's about putting right the wrongs of the past, and we've always stood by treaty settlements because we do believe that wrongs of the past should be put right. But the Waitangi Tribunal should not be politicised to the point where they're binding obligations to the Crown, because actually that's what elections are for. That's what we're put there for. That's what a democracy is about. People put their hand up to be a representative within government and within Parliament, and Te Pāti Māori are there because they were elected into government. Willie Jackson's there because he was elected into government, and he has a right to stand in Parliament and fight for what he thinks is right. That's democracy, and the Waitangi Tribunal should not be able to override that democracy.
I've been really proud of the Tribunal. I'm so proud of the work they've done over the years. Being a watchdog, they've been responsible for so much. It's responsible in terms of our reo. They're the ones who've talked about supporting our language, Māori broadcasting, Māori health, right across the spectrum. The Tribunal should go on forever and a day, because the reality is, are we going to trust the Crown? Are we going to trust the Crown going forward? I mean, you know, you don't know.
Hang on, you were the Crown.
Well, you can trust us. But in earlier days, you couldn't. Right? I was part of that crew who rallied against it. No, but you need a watchdog. You need
to decide.
Yeah, no, but you need a watchdog to watch Labour. Our people need a safety valve, and the Tribunal provides that. They've done some brilliant work, and Karen should have appeared before them.
There was a lot of talk about how we wouldn't show up, we wouldn't produce things. We produced over 2,000 pages worth of documents for the Waitangi Tribunal with evidence of what had been put forward. They were actually reviewing something that hadn't actually been put in place yet. How can you actually review a policy or a law that hasn't actually come into Parliament yet? They were provided with absolutely everything that they asked for. They were provided with officials that showed up, and they spent hours talking about the coalition agreement and what was being put on the table. There was nothing more that I could have added. As a minister, quite frankly, I think my time is better spent out on the ground, meeting people in the communities and talking to them about those concerns. Hapu and iwi have approached me, and I have gone to every single one that has approached me and asked me for a meeting, face to face, to discuss their concerns with this issue.
The Waitangi Tribunal was set up in the first place because this Crown has failed Māori disproportionately. Like, you look at all of the statistics, you want to look at homelessness, you want to look at incarceration, the level that our communities are policed, you want to look at our health outcomes. They are all terrible, and they're getting worse. That is the reason that it was set up, to address the failings of our colonial governments. It's a necessary handbrake, because if you're making decisions that are meddling with tamariki Māori and is meddling with te reo Māori, well then, yeah, you deserve to have some level of scrutiny, some level of actual independent scrutiny, unlike these reviews that are negotiated by this government via text message. Hey, bro, can you do this review for me? You know, that's the kind of accountability we have by this government.
And you've got a $500,000 job now, eh?
Exactly.
You've got a $500,000 job now, eh?
Exactly.